Okay, when we talk about pairs of angles or multiple angles, we can come up with some names to describe them. The first one is adjacent, which is basically just means beside. I basically say that they have to share a common vertex, which is right here in yellow, and a common side, which is here in blue. So angle 1 and 2 would be adjacent, and it simply means beside. There are many examples you can draw here, but it basically just means beside. Just be careful of this one. Like if I had a couple of angles here, let's say this is angle 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 2 and 3 are adjacent, but 1 and 3 are not because they're not directly beside each other. Okay, whereas 3 and 4 would also be adjacent. Okay, so just a little note there about adjacent angles. You could also have a linear pair. Now you'll notice here a linear pair makes up a straight line. Okay, it makes up a straight line, and that's represented here in blue. In the blue line here is a straight line, and it's 180 degrees. Notice that they are adjacent angles. In other words, 1 and 2 are adjacent angles, but they're also a linear pair in this situation. So they can be multiple names. So they make up a straight line. The last one here, okay, are a couple little more complicated ones. One is called complementary. Complementary means that two angles, again, they're a pair of angles that add up to 90. Okay, only two. So it's not 3 angles or 4 angles that add up to 90, only 2. They can be separated. There might be 2 separate angles, like here at 1 and 2 might add up to 90. But you might also have them that they're adjacent angles like this. And of course here's a little box representing 90 degrees. So 1 and 2 add up to 90. You can also have something called supplementary angles, in which case they're angles that add up to 180. They may be adjacent, but they might not be. In this case they're not. In this case they are. And if they are adjacent, again they're going to be a linear pair. Okay. The last ones here are called vertical angles. They're non-adjacent, in other words they're not beside each other, but they're formed by intersecting lines. They always have the same measure, in other words they're always equal. And so if you look here, here are non-adjacent, like 3 and 4 are non-adjacent, but they're formed by intersecting lines. And so 3 and 4, think of them as like opposite angles. Okay? 3 and 4 would be vertical angles. So would 1 and 2. And 1 would be the same as 2, and 3 would be the same as 4. Not all 4 are the same. They could be if they're all 90, but they don't have to be. But understand the opposite ones here are the same. Okay? And so this would be vertical angles.